And now, a conversation about dyeing chinos that nobody requested. I just shared these like made in the USA J. Crew women's late 80s, early 90s single pleat chinos that I found at Scrap and I dyed over the weekend. And I decided that because I find it interesting, wanted to talk a little bit about garment dyes. So if you go to a store and you see pants that are a certain color, there's lots of different ways they could have become that color. It could have been a yarn dye, which means that the actual yarns were dyed first and then it was woven into the fabric that was then made into the pants. It could have been just fabric dyed, where the yarns are woven undyed, then it's dyed as fabric, and then that is cut and made into the pants. Or it could have been garment dyed, which is the most expensive way to do it, and means that after the entire item's been made, buttons, everything, then the individual garment is dyed. That's the most expensive because you just think like logically, like mills, factories have in their processes, like yarns getting dyed, fabrics getting dyed. It's all like, it's a smooth kind of thing. This is really helpful, right? I'm using all these words that make sense. But actually dyeing a bunch of pants is going to be a little bit more challenging, maybe take up more room. And there's so many other things you have to consider. So when I worked in the apparel industry, worked for Levi's, I also worked for Dockers, and we did so many chinos and khakis, and the design team always wanted them to be garment dyed. And it was always, an extra couple dollars per item to make that happen. And so all the things you would have to think about and how you can tell if something you're about to buy is garment dyed or not. Well, it's because, so you'll look at the pocket bags. That is a big one. So you can see here, the pocket bags are probably a cotton polyester blend. Usually pocket bags tend to be poly, but again, if you make them cotton, you want them to be the same color. That's an extra cost. The thread. So think about like, you're going to have to either have the thread be cotton, which in apparel is usually polyester, or to take the dye the same, like these, obviously it wasn't, or you're going to have to pre-plan to sew the garment in thread that matches the color of the pant of what it's going to be. Yeah. It's also, garment dyes will always have like more dimension, and you're not probably going to get a completely even flat dye, which is honestly why so many people love garment dyes and why I love this. You're going to get highs and lows. You're going to get just more variation. But anyway, that is a really super duper quick conversation that no one asked for on dyeing chinos.